a little creative, shall we? Get my creative juices flowing here. How about some road traffic while we story time. Yay, story time. What's the name of this? How I became a celestial being. I had this dream about this. Most of my stories come from my dreams, and they play off like movies. So I'm just a regular, ordinary human being, going through life, the same limitations as everybody else, same rationale, the same struggles as everybody else. And not like everybody else. I figured there was something more to this world than just what I see and hear and feel. So I started looking to enlightenment. Meditations, sitting still, astral projection. So one day while I was practicing astral projection, meditation, leaving my body, I figured I'd go to the center of the universe. Normally, I would keep to the confines of the earth. Very rarely would I venture off into the solar system. By this time, doing many astral projections, I was quite adept at it. Knew my way around. Knew what to expect. I knew when I was in the astral plane, nothing can harm me, and I could travel at the speed of thought. So wherever I thought about, that's where I went. And sometimes I would see fantastical things, amazing things, terrifying things, other beings on the astral plane. I knew they couldn't harm me unless I wanted them to. And I could go with the speed of thought to wherever I wanted to go, even back to my body. And I oftentimes would spend most of my astral projection hovering above the earth, watching everybody else as they astral project, usually in their sleep. So their ethereal body would float up into orbit, if you will. Very dark. The earth would be dark. The surrounding space around it would be dark. Yet you would see these light bodies, if you will. Almost like a misty kind of smoke, with a little silver line going all the way from the body that's in orbit down to the source. They're sleeping. Physical body on the earth. And if they were dreaming while I was in orbit watching them, they would be acting out whatever dream they were going through. I couldn't see their dreams, but I could see them acting out the dream. And then sometimes I would see sentient beings that would notice me and I notice them. Be like a hi, how you doing moment. There's no talking. There's no sound. There's thought. And sometimes they would say hi. I'd say hi. Wave. A feeling of kinsmanship, somewhat. And then oftentimes, rarely, but you would see it, would just be this disgusting, evil, terrifying form that would rush towards you. Almost like a disembodied zombie. With the look of terror and dread on its face. Outreaching claws and arms. This ethereal body trying to grab you. Mouth agape to bite you. Sometimes it would take on the form of a zombie-like humanoid. Sometimes it'd be like a demonoid form. I knew it was human, and I knew they were evil. I often wondered if perhaps they were sentient, or if they were actually dreaming. Oftentimes that's what I did, and I was amazed. And sometimes I would go down to the Earth's surface, fly around, go visit people I knew, watch them. Over time, I realized that because I move at the speed of thought, I had to control my thoughts. Make discipline. Whatever I thought, that's where I went. If I was reminiscing of my childhood days, playing in the sandbox, I would go there instantaneously. I wouldn't be there, of course. Can't travel back and forth in time in the astral plane. It's only right now. The here and the now is all that you can experience. So, developing that discipline of not thinking and only being in the now and experiencing the now. So, one day I thought, I'm going to go to the center of the universe. I hear it exists. Never been there. I'm going to go there. And like I said before, I've been to the planets in the solar system, in the astral plane. Nothing there. And it was instantaneous. Boom, I'm there. Once I started to go to the center of the universe, I didn't know where I was going. I was lost. Lost in the astral plane. It seemed as if I was moving at a warp speed, flying through space, super fast, at the speed of thought. But the vast distance, I believe, took a little time. So I'm careening at the speed of thought through the universe. Stars flying past me like wisp of light. Streams. Streams of light on all sides. Off in the distance, I see an extremely large, bright light. I stopped. I had reached the center of the universe. It's where a collection, the most I have ever seen collected in one spot. Stars, planets, black holes, quasars, nebulas, all clustered together. Massive, massive white lights. I stared at it for a long time. Streams of light were shooting out from it. Puffs of smoke coming from it. But there were streams of light, energy. I stared at it and thought, could I go there? Could I go to the center of this light and be okay? A little bit of fear. I had gazed at the sun before in the astral plane. It doesn't look yellow. It looks white. Like white mist and smoke. Like it itself was a being. This was similar but extremely bright. And as I inched forward, something hit me. Boom, I felt it. A wave, a wave of smoke, wisping smoke, white hit me. And a sound like boom. And I felt my ethereal body disintegrate. I had never experienced that before. My whole ethereal body, which I had built to look like me, had disintegrated into tiny little particles and was flying back towards my body at a super fast speed, faster than I had ever thought possible. I knew I was going back towards my body. My silver umbilical cord was shattered. My astral body was disintegrated. Yet I was careening back towards my body very, very fast. And when I reached my body, all those my astral body particles, if you will, slammed into my body. I could feel the pain, the intense burning as these particles slammed into my body. And I awoke instantly. I noticed that there were holes, as if I had been shot by 1 billion BB guns, all throughout my body. And each hole glowed a golden color, golden light. So what the hell is this? The pain was intense, the burning was intense. And then the hole started to close up, and the light disappeared from inside of the golden light. I got up, looked in the mirror, looked at my eyes, looked at my face, was checking my body, checking for holes, checking for injuries. Nothing. I looked fine. The pain and burning had subsided. And I went back to bed. I was exhausted. It felt like I had ran a marathon. I guess that's what going to the center of the universe and back will do to you. So I went to bed, I woke up and realized I had been asleep for 3 days. I checked my messages on my phone. I had so many calls. Work had called. Friends had called. Everybody I knew was like, "What's going on? Why are you not at work? Are you okay? We haven't heard about you in three days." I didn't know what to say. So I said, "Sorry, I've been sick." Little did I know, I was transforming. So I finally went about the business of getting back into life. Went to work, begged them not to fire me. They wanted to. I convinced them I was fine. I was just sick. So sick I couldn't call in. I told my friends I was fine. I was just sick. I went about the course of my life, going to work, but everything felt different. Everything felt insignificant. Unnecessary. I couldn't quite place it. And then I noticed later on in that week, I had not eaten breakfast. I had not eaten lunch. I had not eaten a dinner. I didn't have the urge to smoke a cigarette. I didn't have the urge to drink water. I caught myself a few times not breathing and wondered how long I was not breathing. Yet I felt fine. There was a few nights where I did not sleep. I just laid there. I dared not astral project again. I was wondering what was going on, what happened. So I looked online, middle of the night, nice sleepless night, not tired at all. I would stay up all night on the internet, looking, searching for the answer. Couldn't find anything. And then the morning would come along and I would take myself back to work. Still not tired. No urges, no need for coffee, cigarettes, food. So I forced myself to eat one day. I felt fine. I wasn't hungry. I didn't feel the need to eat. Oh. And I usually would go to the bathroom. I knew my cyclic rate was 24 to 48 hours after I ate. Nothing. I didn't even have the urge to use the bathroom. And I felt fine. As a matter of fact, I felt great. And I didn't know why. By this time, a week had gone by without me eating, sleeping, drinking, pissing, taking a shit. what is going on? Yet I felt fine. Time had a different feeling as well. The passing of this week was like a minute. My concept of time had changed. I felt fine, but I knew something was wrong. But something was telling me I was okay. But I did my due diligence, and I went to the doctor. Made a doctor's appointment. Told him I have no urge to eat, sleep, drink, poop, pee, coffee, cigarettes. I have no urge to do any of these things. And of course, he took my vital signs, took my temperature, he took my blood pressure, he listened to my heart. I did tell him that I had caught myself not breathing. So he put me on a breathing machine where I consciously breathed. I allowed myself to breathe. Because I wasn't breathing until he told me to breathe. Until I made myself breathe. When he was checking my blood pressure, he looked in astonishment. I had no blood pressure. He's looking at the gauge, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and I felt my heart beat. As if I willed my heart to beat. Boom, 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 boom. My heart was not beating until I noticed it wasn't. He looked perplexed. I was perplexed. But I wasn't surprised. My mind was still wondering, what is going on here? My heart wasn't beating. He checked my breath on the breathing machine. I wasn't breathing until I was told to breathe. He concluded that I have the best vitals that he has ever seen. Perfect. My heart rate was at a constant 80 beats per minute. Constant. Normally there's fluctuation. My blood pressure was perfect. 120 over 80. Perfect. No deviations. My breathing. He said I took in more oxygen than I needed and exhaled more carbon dioxide than he has ever seen anyone do before in his life. He wanted to run some tests, take some blood tests. He told me to piss in a cup. He tried to stick my arm with a needle. And when he stuck my arm, I felt nothing really. Usually I'm waiting for the pain, right? The ouch of the needle. I didn't feel that. I felt the needle go into my arm. It didn't hurt. And when he pulled the needle out, tried to get blood, no blood came out. And the hole closed up immediately. No blood. he was amazed. I thought, well, you must have missed a vein. He's like, no, I've been doing this for years. I know where your veins are. So he tried again. This time I realized I wasn't breathing, nor my heart wasn't pumping. And so I, out of a type of courtesy, I allowed my blood pressure and my heart rate to be conscious. I was consciously controlling them. And I allowed them to operate so he could get blood. So he got a blood sample. And as he was looking at the blood sample, it was red, and it looked like a gold. It had a gold shimmer to it. Very faint. Very faint. And he'd shake it, but the blood wouldn't move hardly. It would just kind of move side to side, as if the force of his shaking and gravity did not matter. It just kind of sat there in the container. It's like, huh? It looks thick. It's not moving. Don't know the viscosity of it. We're going to take it to the lab and have it tested. We'll let you know our findings later. Go home and whatever. We'll let you know. So I left the doctor's office wondering, how could I control my body like that? I've never had to control it like that. I have heard of the yogi masters and things like that control their breathing and control their heart rate, but not to this extent. Wow. So no sooner did I get home, the doctor calls me. Go, hey, come back. We need that blood sample. You took it with you. Why'd you take it with you? I was like, I didn't take it. You have it. You took the blood. You're doing tests with it. You must have misplaced it. It's like, no, it's not here. I mean, the vial is here, but the blood is gone. As if it just evaporated. What? At this point, I didn't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. Obviously, you're pulling my leg, or you lost it. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. And it was at that point that I was conscious that my blood had left and was on its way back to me. And I felt it as I was talking on the phone with him, as it reabsorbed into my body. What? And I was whole again. I couldn't explain it, but I knew. And my blood knew. We were connected. Me and my blood were connected, and I felt it as it was getting closer to me, flying through the air. It even passed through the walls of my home, through my clothes, through my skin, and back into my arm. I was amazed. I couldn't explain it. The other thing I couldn't explain was my lack of emotions. I no longer got mad. I no longer got frustrated. I no longer got aggravated. I was very calm. But not peaceful, just calm. As if I understood everything around me. And everything moved. And I was quite aware of just about everything. My awareness had expanded. When I was driving home one day, not breathing, I was looking straight ahead, but I could see in front of me, beside me, and behind me, and above me, and I sensed the road below me. Below me. And I stopped I was driving, and I noticed there was a car that was keeping pace with me. They started to honk their horn, trying to get my attention. So I looked over at them. I said, "Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Sir, wake up, wake up." And as I'm looking at them, I was like, "I'm fine." So why are your eyes closed? What? Then I realized my eyes were closed for the whole drive, the whole commute. Yet I could see perfectly. I could sense everything. I was acutely aware of everyone and everything around me. Their speed, their distance, their velocity. A bird flying by. I felt it. I seen it. Yet my eyes were closed. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. But my awareness was growing. And it was not contained by my body, nor hindered by my physical form.